Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
It's the house!
Oh, look at that. Got some painting going on. Let's see, how do I do this? Ah, there we go, there we go. Yeah, I'm trying StreamYards again. So I spent a little bit of today trying to figure out how to stream to an already existing key, and I figured out how to do it. So you have to create a custom source or whatever, and then you can stream to, like, you know, whatever. Normally when you do a StreamYards stream, it creates a totally random thing and kind of controls your stream key and controls what you're doing. And now I have it set up just like I normally do. And you can have multiple scheduled streams, and all of them, you could stream to any one of them at that time, but whatever one that you know, are on and you start it, that's the one that takes it. The other ones can't have another stream, but you could actually create, like I could stream from, I guess I'd have to use a different computer, but I could stream to 2 different streams if I wanted to. I guess I could do something where, like, I don't know, you have something on one screen and one on the other one. Who knows? Yeah, I thought you'd like the thumbnail. I had another one. I had a few other ones that I was gonna do. Let me show you the other ones. Hold on. Actually, I don't know if they're sitting in there. Hold on. I'll show you what I did, and it was in ChatGPT. Yeah, so can you get, where am I? Yeah. So there was one that I almost used. I mean, look at that one. Then I had that one, but that didn't look like him. His eyes look kind of weird. Then there's that one, and then there was that was the first one that I had. But I hadn't. You know, we don't know what the result of the big day tomorrow is, so I didn't put that on there. But look at that one. That one's crazy, huh? You guys must be like 40 seconds behind. Yeah, I don't know. Did you guys even see my video today? It's only got 2,000 views. It's one of the worst performing videos ever. Have you guys, did you see it, or? Yeah, I mean, that's the crying one was so good, but it didn't really fit, you know. So I almost put that one on, but then I said, well, we don't know what the result is yet, so yeah. One thing I did want to bring up, it was kind of creepy, we'll keep an eye on it, is, you know, the battle going on in Israel and Iran. The Iranian news network, they put out a statement saying, tonight a great surprise will occur, one that the world will remember for centuries. Now, they say weird shit sometimes, but that one's pretty creepy. And one of the things that I've thought for a while is, does Iran already have a nuke that somebody gave them at one point? And that makes me nervous. I've thought about that for a long time. I just don't normally say it, but that comment there made me go, that's really... What would you remember for centuries? Yeah. Anyways, there you go. So I'll just keep a monitor going on over here, see what's happening. Yeah, the earlier video, I don't know what happened. It didn't make it into any, semblance of an algorithm whatsoever. It just went immediately out the window, and everybody watched it though, like watched it for a long time and made comments and everything, but it didn't make it into the algorithm. So if you didn't see my earlier video, you should go watch that. Yeah, of course the Uber driver would testify. Yeah, that's just somebody, another YouTuber's claiming. I mean, it's possible, sure, that they know somebody that knows the Uber driver, and that they, we know what her name is, Kidman, but we didn't want you to put it in the chat. As I said in the video that I posted earlier, a lot of people just want to put the name out there so they can pretend that they're really sleuthy people. Yeah, it's just bizarre. I don't really understand. We don't need to have her name or anything like that. It doesn't do any good. Especially just the random people watching, not the, creator. If people are making videos, you might be able to look up something and figure something out. But just random people, it's almost like stalker, Now, we already know what it says. Yeah, we figured out what it said. It's in my video that I put out earlier. No, it doesn't say running. Yeah. Let's see. Scary stuff, yeah. So tomorrow is going to be a big day. I'm going to stream it, so hopefully people show up. But based on the way YouTube is for me, I'm really not confident whatsoever that I'll have a decent crowd. I have no idea. It's just YouTube has just absolutely screwed me over lately. I have no idea why, or anything. Yeah, it doesn't say that. Let's go Ducks. Haven't you followed along what we've been doing? Right. Wouldn't surprise me if Iran has a stash we didn't know. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be given to them by somebody because they don't have the technology. Poor Kohberger. I'll put it in here just to have it. Maybe we'll be able to put that on the screen at the end of the day. Alright. So what do you guys think will be the, I mean, I guess the portion, I mean, I'm not even sure what portion we're going to get to hear as a public, but I think, isn't tomorrow where they actually are going to talk about the third-party suspect and other elements like that? Yeah, well, it's not. We don't know if she saw him. Well, we don't know anything about it, Kidman. I've always said, I mean, if you've been watching me, you should have realized when I've said 100 times on different videos that Kohberger would have passed the... would have... Hey, wow, hey, thanks, Cheryl. Jeez. Thank you, Cheryl Moran.
Ray and Freak family. Sparkling heart emoji.
How's it going? Yeah, we've said many times, Kidman, on the show that if the DoorDash was at 359, then Kohberger would have had to have passed the DoorDash driver. 100%. All right, now we know that 359, people, what I said in the video again, is that 359, it could have been just when she just pulled in and parked and then hit delivered and then got out of her car and delivered it, because I guess apparently it sets the camera up to take the picture once you hit the delivered button. So that's the deal, but it is pretty interesting. The whole DoorDash thing is an interesting puzzle to figure out. And the reality is none of us know how long, did she get there? She could have got there at 3:57 or something and sat there for a couple minutes. It's also, remotely possible that she still sat there at 4:08. After delivering it, maybe she sat there and smoked a cigarette or something, and who the hell knows, and she just happened to still be there at that time. I don't know. I bet, wouldn't that be crazy if at 4:08 Kohberger parks his car right down here, let's say, and she's right here, and he doesn't know that she's in the car. Now, what they've said on other shows is that she was in this parking area here, and a car drove by, and they just stared right into Xana's room. They were like, hey, just looking into Xana's room, and they could see like a silhouette of the person, but they were looking at Xana's room, and then they drove by. That was what they say out there. And I don't know, man. I have to hear her say it, or it's hard to believe. Yeah, the DoorDash thing is crazy because it wasn't even in the Dateline special, It wasn't in there at all. It was just, I thought it was almost sort of, really loud. It sort of spoke to me that it was missing. And it was also missing, one of the things that I said was I thought it was interesting that it was also missing the 405 return on the final pass when it came in, like this. And what if that's kind of when, what if she's still there at like 404 something, 405, and then she's pulling out right when he drives by. That's why he does the 3-point turn over here and then drives back down. Now they're gone, and then he does another 3-point turn. Now he's ready to go because that person's gone now. Right? Because they didn't put into the Dateline special the video of the Elantra coming back at 405. Hey, thanks, Sandy Shirley. Appreciate it. Why didn't they do that? They had all the footage, but they don't have the one at 405 when it comes back in. And is it because at that time, what if, I hate the what ifs and all that crap, but these are things that are somewhat likely. So he could have actually seen her twice. It could have been at the 3:59-ish time when she's pulling in and leaves. Then when he finally makes it back in, the car is still sitting there, and then it is pulling out. And that's what prompted Kohberger to then do a U-turn, drive over here. And I can show you on the screen. So it would be like this. Watch. So at about, let's see, 3:58, when Kohberger is driving around like this, 3:57 something, the DoorDash driver pulls in and parks, and Kohberger's just coming around like this, and then he comes down here, and maybe slowly, and he stops right there, and that car's there. So she doesn't get out of her car yet, and then he takes off, but he notices the car. Now, apparently they say that he didn't notice the car, but that's hard to believe. Then he would go like this and around, and he's still looking over there like, what is that? What the hell is that? And he's looking over there at that car. Then right here he does a U-turn. He drives back around, and this is Kohberger, and the car is still there because if you look at I think it's 4 o'clock and 14 seconds. The vehicle, the white Elantra, is driving right there. See that? It's driving right here, going this direction. And the DoorDash is still there if you believe that the key fob sound, because that was at 4:02 o'clock and 20-something seconds. So it's still there. So then Kohberger drives all the way around like this, passes the Ridge Road building right here, and that's where they get that one shot of the missing front license plate, then around like this, and then comes back around, and then at 4:04, or right around 4:05, it pulls back in here. Now, what if the DoorDash driver was still there? And still sitting there? And then when Kohberger, and right as he's coming in, maybe it's pulling out. And that's why we don't get to see the surveillance footage of the vehicle coming in. Maybe they passed right here. Something like that. And Kohberger's vehicle then goes over here. Now he's kind of curious, so he does a 3-point turn, drives back this direction, and notices that the car is completely gone now. Then does another 3-point turn. Yeah, now he's ready to go. And he's kind of a little bit monitoring over here. And then goes around, and then he parks somewhere along here. Now, I always thought maybe he parked here at number C, but lately I've been thinking, man, maybe he parked over here at B over here. Because it's a lot easier walk. You just get out of your car and boom, you're out of there. But you know, interestingly, everything in red here, everything in red, you can't see on surveillance footage. All right, hey, cool, Aussie Trisha, good to see you. And you know, just like Cheryl Moran and other people, if you have the ability to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Had a less than stellar day yesterday, a couple good days before that. But I need your guys' support to keep the ball rolling this month, all right? So currently we have Cheryl Moran and Sandy Shirley, and that's it. No, Sandy, that's not. I'm saying that the reason that isn't what I'm saying, Sandy. When the Elantra comes in at 4:05, they believe that the DoorDash vehicle, I think it's in the same shot, and that's why they didn't put it out there. I've said since the beginning, I mean, that they don't want, the DoorDash, well, I guess I kind of agree with what you're saying. The DoorDash, as I've said on the show, the DoorDash video is something they didn't want out there, and that's why they couldn't show the 4:05 sighting of the Elantra pulling back in, because they were in the scene at the same time. And that's just a theory, so that's interesting, right? Because that's at 4:05. So, I mean, I don't know is there anybody out here that's been a DoorDash driver? Hey, thank you, Allie Cake. Has anybody been a... I don't know what you're talking about, Kidman. I'm not opening up a video. You can't post videos inside the chat, by the way.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about. No, I've gone over the whole thing, Kidman. I just put out a video today that has the information in it. Thanks, Aussie Trisha. Gifted 5. Very cool. Look at that. Right, so if you've been a DoorDash driver here, are there times when you deliver something and then you sit in your car for a couple minutes because you don't have another place to deliver? You know, you're just like, oh, you know, you sit there for a couple minutes, 5 minutes or so, listening to your radio, checking your voicemail, whatever the hell you're doing. If you change your name, I'll refer to you, but I'm not going to. That's a stupid name on YouTube. What do you mean? I've made 2 or 3 videos on it, Kidman, and many live streams, so I don't know what's happening. You're almost like, I'm not sure what you're doing. It's weird. It wasn't just one video. Hey, thanks, Mallory Beavers. Here, let's just open it up, okay? I've got it in here. All right. I'm going to come on tomorrow. I don't even know. I might come on earlier than the posted time. We'll see, but I think it's like 1, what is it? I think it was 12:30, well, 11:30 my time. Yeah, so let's oh, that was the video. Let me go to the raw. So here it is right here. All right. And I think this lady really could be the DoorDash driver. That's why I'm putting it out there. Because she didn't lie on other portions of things that she talked about that were crazy. No, it wasn't, Kidman. So here we go. The video's been out on YouTube for 8 months, and all it was, see this channel right here, Officer Axon? You can go to that channel and you can find it. All that person does is find body camera footage, put it out on the internet, and people watch it. All right, he didn't have any idea that this had anything to do with anything, and it was just some random people that found the body camera footage. This video that this is from is 50-something minutes long. It's all the way out in the street, and she gets brought to the station, put in a cell, etc. Well, you don't really piss me off, Kidman. It's just like I get so frustrated when there's so many people that don't watch my channel very often, but they watch all the crazy nutjob channels over and over and over and over and over again. So it's a little bit frustrating. Gotta be honest. Hey, thanks, Kami and Ozzy Trisha. All right, so here we go. Listen to this. So I fixed the audio. You know what I could try to do? Let me just let me put this all into a nest here like that, and then let's see if we can add a audio effect, noise reduction more. I've already done it on there, but maybe that's like a noise issue. And then let's see.
You have to testify in which murder case? Oh.
That's harder to make out when it's like that, though. Yeah, it doesn't work. See, sometimes when you use those noise things, it removes these little sound waves that are actually necessary to understand what the hell she's saying. All right, so here we go. Let's just do it normal.
And now I have to testify.
See, that's easy to understand. And now I have to testify.
Big murder case too.
Big murder case too.
So yeah, because I'm the DoorDash driver.
She goes, so we have, because I'm the DoorDash driver.
So yeah.
So yeah.
You have to testify in which murder case? Murder case with the college girls.
The murder case of the college girls.
Oh. My DoorDash driver, I saw Brian.
She said, I'm the DoorDash driver. I saw Brian, either at the house or near the house, whatever it is. It's something like that. Parked right next to him. See, she said she parked right next to him. I mean, can you hear that? Doesn't that sound? I mean, what else would it be? Listen. I mean, she could be saying cars right next to him. Let's listen to that. No, because she's like, there's another, let's see. Yeah. Either way, cars right next to him or parked right next to him. It doesn't matter. It means the same thing. Right? Then the next one, then it skips. There's quite a bit of nothingness here, and then it goes over here. His car is in the street, like that. So that's the part. Buy me. Whatever it is, right? His car is in the street, and he's buy me. Buy me. That sort of makes sense because he is near her, and so that's what we have here. So what do you think of that? You want me to play it one more time where I don't talk? Please, Gray, please. All right, here we go.
And now I have to testify. Big partner case too, so yeah, because I'm a DoorDash driver, so yeah. You have to testify in which murder case? College Grove. Oh. My DoorDash driver is so brand new. Very Eastern. Car accidents, rapes, abuse. Okay. So you think it's...
That's it. Crazy, huh? Oh, but it's not new, Kidman. We've all known forever. I mean, the thing is, we've all known that the DoorDash driver saw something. I mean, I have. I don't know. I mean, I've never thought otherwise. Have you guys? I mean, I always thought that, yeah, there's a good chance that the DoorDash driver saw at least Kohberger in his vehicle, etc. Maybe can't make out him, but saw the white Elantra, etc. And has the timing and maybe could observe what kinds of things he was doing. Now, if she actually saw his face and something like that, man, that is a big deal. Drapes. That's ridiculous. That's interesting. He parked near her. She seems afraid to testify. Well, he parked near her. Maybe that's what made her not go into the house. So if you look at it, at 3:59, she delivered the DoorDash. That's what time it says. Now, I've always been suspicious. I mean, aren't you guys suspicious often when you hear a flat number? Like, oh, well, he dropped it off at 3:59. Because I always want to know the exact seconds, because they actually matter often, okay? So when somebody says, oh, yeah, she dropped a delivery off at 3:59, I kind of think, well, is it really 3:59, or was that the last whole minute? So it could have been 3:59:40, and they just said 3:59. Similarly to what law enforcement will do, they'll say something like that. And then later on, when you get the actual documents, there's seconds attached to the end, which makes a big difference. We already know what the sentence is, KK. I showed it on the screen. Let's see. I think the DoorDash driver was there when... Yeah, I've gone over it many times. Here, listen. I know there's a lot of people. They spend a lot of time. I feel like you're one of them, Kidman, that probably hang out with some of the nut jobs, like the guy from the UK, the clown, and all those people. So you're going to have information that doesn't exist, isn't real. Right. So I actually have the timeline information here. So when you go up to that portion of time. Look at this. So this purple is the DoorDash time. And look at 3:57:27. The headlights are seen coming around. I mean, I've gone over this 100 times, so people on my channel are probably bored stiff of it. But when the car comes around like this and then turns, that is at 3:57:27. So it's right up here. It's just turning at that point. And I would say by 3:57, let's just say 40-ish, maybe 42, that's when the vehicle stops for a moment. And we know it stops because at 3:58:23 is when it is seen on a camera leaving the general area. So see that right there, the 3:58:23, that's when the vehicle, as it comes around, and it must stop anywhere around in here somewhere for 25 seconds or so. Then it drives by, then this camera here picks up the vehicle as it's going right there. Okay, right there it picks it up at 3:58:23. And then, if you have the DoorDash being delivered, at 3:59, she's likely already in the parking spot, and then clicks that. And then we hear at 3:59:46, 3 different key fob sounds. And at 3:59:04, so if you think about it, at 3:59, she's clicking. I've dropped it off, right? And then let's see. That's let me show you where that is. That's right over here. So at 3:59:04, the Elantra is right in this area, and at 3:59, she's right there, clicking that it was delivered. Don't worry about it, Juju Bean. Just basically anybody covering the case from the UK is probably that person. All right, because I haven't heard any others. Hey, look at that. 2 months by Stephanie Sprague. Yeah, people always come in there and just bust out all the names of different channels. It's just strange. Only 30 minutes late. Well, it's better than nothing. So if the DoorDash driver, let's say, just looking at this timing again, at 3:56:55, Kohberger's white Elantra is right here. It's driving like this and coming around. So what if the DoorDash driver at 3:57, coming in from behind, she pulls in at like 3:57 something, and then Kohberger comes around and then turns at 3:57:27, and then parks, and the DoorDash driver is already sitting there. So then he pulls over to here or right there, and she's right there. And then he kind of scares her a little bit. So she clicks. What if it's like this? She clicks, delivered at 3:59, and then she's just kind of waiting because he was just there, and he drives away. And then she felt good enough to get out of her car, hit the key fob, go deliver the food, come back, and then, I don't know, did she sit in her car for a while after that, or did she leave immediately? Because it's interesting how they don't have, like Sandy was saying, I mean, I don't agree with that. My point was that they didn't show it in the Dateline episode about the DoorDash. They didn't show the white Elantra coming back at 4:05, which is right here. So it says, headlight, a vehicle matching the description of vehicle 1 is seen southbound on King Road. So it's right at 4:04:56. He's already made that whole loop around again, and then he comes back, and then right when the vehicle, and I can tell you is this is what they do. If I took right where the camera is, which is just off to the left of center, off of this building, and then go right off the edge of that building, that is the angle of when they pick it up and tell you that's when the vehicle shows up. So it's going to be like right there. All right, so that angle, right when the vehicle is driving like this, that camera picks up the vehicle. That's the time frame that law enforcement uses in their articles, and that's 4:04:56 right there. And then it comes around, and then it makes it back behind here at 4:05:31. And then it starts doing it begins its 3-point turn at that time, and then it sits there still for 10 seconds, and then the suspect at 4:05:52 begins to back up, and then at 4:06:09 it starts heading west down King Road again. So it goes back there. After the vehicle drives over here like this, it comes in here and stops for a moment. You guys have seen that. Then it backs up, goes this direction. Then it does another 3-point turn. But I'm just wondering if the DoorDash person was still there at that time. All right. So, what do you guys think will be in the hearing tomorrow? And by the way, if you want to watch the trial where the people that are covering it actually know what they're talking about and know the entire case and have, like, I have a whole bunch of amazing digital things we can work with. Like, here's a 360-degree camera that goes right up and down the street here. You know, like, there's the 1122 King Road still in existence when I was there. Way back up in there's the parking area behind 1122 King Road. That's 1112 King Road right there. That's 1119 King Road right there. Then down here, that's 1127. That's where the headlights hit when the vehicle drives up on the rear parking lot up there. The headlights hit the top of that building because it's taller than that building. The camera on the top, or right on where that light is right there, picks up that light. So while they're doing the trial, we'll actually be able to look at stuff. I have a 3D model of the entire house, etc. But hey, guys, if you guys could please help support the channel tonight. We've hit one of those lulls again. We're been absolutely struggling the last couple days. I can't get my videos viewed. I don't know what the hell's going on. So if you guys could please help support the channel tonight, I would appreciate it. Basically, my channel relies on your generosity. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. There's no ad revenue on live streams. We get to hear if he decides on whether or not it's going to be continued. Okay, well, I was told by somebody that it's likely not going to be continued. That the trial is going to happen when it happens, because there's been so many things already in place and there's really no reason for it either. But isn't the stuff that's off camera related to the third party, or is that later in the month? Mm-hmm. Yeah. There will most likely be another defense delaying. Yeah, I think so, Cindy. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think he is gonna. Man, this case is just, I just want it to get started. I'm getting so tired of there's so many just completely, unhinged idiots out there. There's this one idiot that claims he's friends with Kohberger, and then he made a chart that had my name on it, Gonzalez's name on it, and other people's name on it. Like, we're all just these, working for the government types. I mean, these people are nuts, man. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know if anybody heard what I said, but I need your guys' support on the channel. Thank you. It's okay, Derek. I have my own thoughts. Let's see. I hope it goes on as scheduled. I'll be here to watch. Oh, good. Cool. I can't play somebody else's video either, but I just don't. I don't know how it would be any more interesting. They don't have inside knowledge or anything like that. Yeah. How's it? Is the stream smooth at least? Hey, thanks, Alley Cat. How many months have you been here? I bet you've been in here, like, you're 60 months at least, for sure, I would think. I think when the trial happens, I'm going to have more, channel member only stuff, I think. like on the side, just little, like we talk for a little bit, give our thoughts, etc. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes that's how it works. Yeah, I'm not gonna play somebody else's video. Let me see which one it is. Oh, yeah, that guy's an idiot. Man, forget it. That guy's one of the worst there ever was, man. Forget it. Derek, man, that guy's a clown. Let's see. He just heard some other YouTuber say that, so then he claims he doesn't have any inside knowledge on anything. So the stream sounds good. Right. Hey, thanks, Kid Man. Very cool. Do you guys want to, I don't know if there's any new people here. How many people in here have not seen this 360-degree walk through here? I mean, we can talk about other stuff, but we could play it, and then you can watch. It's just really interesting, all the things that you can see. It actually basically covers the entire complex. Like, so put a 1 if you've never seen this thing from start to finish. It's like 10 minutes long. It's pretty interesting. And I can look around and whatnot. He doesn't have any friends. Yeah, that guy was a complete idiot. Let's see. All right, well, I need more. I want to know if more people haven't seen it. From start to finish. All right, so here you go. Watch this. Look how amazing 306. I have 2 cameras now that are better than this one. Almost a quarter better quality. You know, like this is 57K and the new ones are 8,000. That's pretty crazy, right? 8K. So here we go. So look at that. There's the steepness of the hill. Some people think he parked back there, and then it's kind of steep, so you walk down. Now there is a kind of a drop off there, so you'd have to be able to know that was there in the middle of the night, or you'd break your foot probably falling off of it. So a lot of people think he parked right over in this area, because look how easy that is to come up that little tiny bank right there to get to a car that was parked right there. And thanks, Kidman. I'd like to be able to give away the 5 memberships tonight if we can get there, you guys. And so right here is where the DoorDash driver, she would have pulled in, and maybe Kohberger was right here, or he parked right over there where that maroon car is, right? And so you could actually, this is what it would be like if you're in the vehicle and as he was leaving the complex. So right here is 1112 King Road, and watch this as the car's driving. This would be, pretend you're in the car right here. And then right there is the camera on that building and at 1112 King Road, and it would film the white Elantra driving this way. It also can film the headlights from the Elantra on that house right there, etc. Wow, those guys are clowns. A group of volunteers looking for the knife. That's just for publicity. How much you want to bet it's a YouTube channel? That's just garbage. Right before the trial, too. Come on. Where were they last year looking for it? It's stupid. All right, anyways, coming up here. Right now we're on Taylor Avenue, and so there's the street. That's King Road that goes in. That's 500 Queen Road, way up there. I guess what I could do is take me off of here and just go like that, make it bigger. See, now it's a lot clearer and bigger for you guys, right? Yeah, that's dumb, Juju. Yeah, they're not going to find anything. It's just for publicity. All right, so you're coming around now. Look at right there. See that Taylor Avenue became Willanta Drive right at that sign. So it's still Taylor right there going around. I mean, you know, I don't. If you want to go look for it, go look for it. I just feel like it's, you know. What are the odds? I mean, you know what? I hope I eat crow for saying that and they find it. That'd be amazing. Is it the guy that has the LiDAR drone camera? He wanted to set something up with me a long time ago, and I was like, man, that's a needle in a haystack. I don't have time. All right, so look. Way over there, that's 1122 King Road right there. See that? But you guys, I need you guys' help tonight. As I've mentioned many times, I don't want to do it 57 times again tonight. We got to try to get to the goal. We didn't make it yesterday. We didn't make it 2 or 3 more times this month. And for the people that don't watch my channel normally, my channel's given $248,000 out since January of 2020. And we have a DNA fund and a scholarship fund, etc. So I need your guys' support when I do these shows, or we can't do that. All right, so there is the 1122 King Road. Now watch this. This is interesting. So look, right there, that is 1112 King Road that has the camera on it. So when the Elantra is driving up this direction, that's when that camera picks it up right at this spot. And this is between, that's behind 1119, which is that building right there. So that's exactly when that took place. Yeah, I just think it's like, there are going to be 19 YouTubers following them looking for it. Alright, so anyways, right there, that is 111, that's 1122 King Road right there. And again, right there is 1112 King Road. So you could probably still even see lights up here at that point. But check this out. See, look at that right there? That's the parking area behind 1122 King Road. And then right there is the top of 1127 where headlights, when the vehicle, see that's 500 Queen Road right there? When it comes this direction, the headlights hit the top of that house right there. And that house right there, 1112 King Road, films the light hit that. Isn't that interesting? Thanks, Walker. Pulls for what? Yeah, but I mean, what are the polls about? I didn't ask anything that... All right, so now we're way back here. That's the house right there. And again, I mean, you can see everything. When there's no leaves on the trees, you can see everywhere all the time. So imagine he was in the right-hand lane when he's driving back. He could just look over there and see. I mean, look at this. I mean, if I stop it right now, let me go back up a little bit more where we were. Watch this. So watch this. See how you can see right here? I don't know if you can see it, but let me hit the pause button right. Now we're way on the other side of the street, but look at that. That's the security car in the front parking lot of 1122 King Road. So you don't think he could drive around and monitor what vehicles were doing, that DoorDash vehicle? He could see it from up here that it was still there or not. What is the what? I don't know what that means, Walker. That this could go direction of case? What does that mean? I have no idea. So when the vehicle's driving down on this side, right now, it's spotted again on the camera over there. See, there's the 1112 King Road right there. One 1127, 1119. Those are all mentioned in the documents. So now we're coming down, then we'll be getting onto King Road here in a moment. Oh, enduring valor, you sound like a complete idiot. I'm just letting you know, man. Wow. Let's see. All right, that next street right there is going to be King Road. So this is what everything looks like. That right there is the Sigma Chi fraternity. It's just right there. Look how close that is. That's it right there. So that's where Ethan, Xana, and Bethany Funk were at certain points. And then you come around this corner, and this is King Road. Are you guys finding this mildly interesting, the people that haven't seen it? Tell you what, you guys send in super chats for poll questions and I'll put them up. Alright? I guess that's the only way we can get the ball rolling. It's just another one of these nights. Already. Amazing. Started off great and then collapsed. So that is 1119 right there, and there's 1127 right there. When the vehicle drives between there, that camera right up here picks it up. That was probably a good way to view that right there. And this time I go behind 500 Queen Road. So you guys go ahead and, if you want poll questions, send in super chats. That'd be great. I'll put them up on the screen. There's Michelle H. Thank you. You didn't put a poll question. Yeah, and here's 500 Queen Road. This is this little narrow street behind it. I mean, I'm not even sure what you do if another car is coming the other direction. Maybe you, I mean, I don't know. You'd have to squeeze by. You almost have to get lucky. No, that didn't make any sense, Betsy Ross. Had no idea what that meant. I read it. How about, is anyone worried that this could go direction of OJ case? Oh, I see.
Let's start
Direction of OJ.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji.
No,
Ocean
I
wave
don't.
Emoji.
Maybe if you type O.J. I might have got it. So this is what it looks like back there, how the car, and there's a camera. Let me go back up a little bit. Let's go back here. So you see the vehicle on the 1330 Linda Lane camera as it goes around this area here. Cheryl Moran said, let's start a wave. And why don't you do it? follow Cheryl Moran's lead. She's always so supportive, and on some nights it's like she's supportive, and seems like a lot of other people just go, yeah. All right, so let's see if we can try to get to a goal tonight. All right, so right here, if you stop, here we go. Let me pause it. There's a camera right under here.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean
It
wave
might even be
emoji.
right over there. I
Ocean
can't remember
wave
exactly.
emoji.
I think it's right there. Right under here, there's a camera that films out here, and this is why that's the 1330 Linda Lane footage is the vehicle coming back behind, and then it cuts off right there.
Kohberger still think he's innocent? Whole question.
Here, I'll put that in there. Let's see. Can I? Oh wait, I gotta put it over here. Comments. Wait, where are the comments? Can't post comments to some destination. Oh, weird. I guess.
Shells.
Yeah.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji.
Okay. You know what's weird is if you use the custom stream, the comments don't show up in StreamYard. That's kind of a bummer. Jeez. That's crap. Wait, show comments. Is that it? Weird. Seems like they should have shown up on at least somewhere else. Alright, here's the poll. There you go. There's the one that Natalie asked. If BK
Cheryl wave.
admitted to
Ocean
doing the
wave emoji.
crime, would Trollberger still think he's innocent? Yes. I mean, that's 100%. They would say that he was coerced into saying that. You know how it works. That's just, they don't have the ability to... every single thing that's said, they have an alternate answer that's way less likely, but they stick with it. It's crazy. Some of the craziest stuff you've ever seen.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji. Ocean
It's
wave
interesting. I
emoji.
wonder why that doesn't work. Post comments to some destinations.
Poll question from previous video. A, B, C, D. BK parked?
Oh yeah. Is that what you want me to do? Gray, you know this case so well, logistics and everything. What surprise might you anticipate?
Great, you know this case so well. Logistics and everything.
All right, let me
Surprises might you anticipate?
let me do this. How many votes do we need before we end the poll on here? All right, how about we get to 60 and I'll end it. So it says if BK had admitted to doing the crime with Trollbergers, and then 74 still think he's innocent. 75% said yes. That's hilarious. I mean, it's true too. That's just so accurate. And Timothy joined Cheryl's wave there. And then we have Mrs. W. Then Tamran. And then Papa Squatch said, Ray, you know the case so well, logistics and everything. What surprise might you anticipate? I mean, I guess I don't really have anything that I'm anticipating. I would be surprised if somehow the judge allows a third-party suspect, you know, and I'd be surprised if he extended, you know, did a continuance where, you know, like the trial gets to go later. I'd be surprised at that. Factually out there, I guess, I don't know. Not really sure. Let me think about that. Yeah, we knew what it meant though, Natalie. And thanks for some of you following Cheryl Moran's wave, but we definitely need more to follow the wave to try to get to the goal. We're just barely at 50%. At trial. I mean, I guess we could just always be surprised at the... Well, that guy's an idiot. Man, another guy. I mean, Jesus. Jesus Christ, man. The people that everybody brings up, it's just amazing. If you don't know these people over the time, man, that guy is total... Let's see. Yeah, that guy's has absolutely crap information. I'm not a fan of Jason Jensen. Okay, he thinks Ron Logan is the killer in the Delphi case. Okay, now you can forget that. And so anybody that has that kind of thinking, forget it. You know. So you can be a big fan and do it all you want. I'm not talking about that guy. What about it? All right, there you go. Well, that's right. Oh, well, there you go. See, Derek's saying that. I guess I got to read it.
Mind-blown emoji.
He said, private investigator Jason Jensen, who is a social media person, is putting on a 2-day volunteer search for the knife. And then why didn't he form the search 2 years ago? That's exactly right. This person thinks that Ron Logan is the killer. He goes wherever it's sort of like, I don't know what this guy is, man. I've been really frustrated with him. I think I'm sort of rare, you know, like somebody who just kind of goes with the facts of the case and works through it and puts the things together. It's like these other people just want sensationalism because it sells. I don't know how you sleep at night with that, however. Now, we didn't mean to super chat for the polls, as we stated earlier. But there you go, Derek. You got it. That's exactly right. That's why I said that. I go, oh, it sounds like this is for publicity. Wow, you do a search, too, and then your name's out there. And then all of a sudden, ooh, you get called by the networks. Hey, I heard you were out there looking for, you know, it's just absolute garbage. Okay?
Chewbacca?
Yeah. If they, you know what? I hope they find it. They're not going to.
Wave generator. Keep it going. Great work, great.
Thanks, Mark Willis. I caught a pretty big bluegill the other day. It was like, it was really like barely fitting I had to grab it where it's way on the edges. It was a big white curly tail that it just sucked in. It was pretty amazing. On my kayak, that was cool. I was bringing it up as a conversation. That's okay, Stephanie. I'm just saying, I didn't know who it was that did it, but now I'm thinking, okay, of course. Yeah. This guy right here, right? The guy holding the knife sheath. All right. I did a video on Lake Oswego. Oh, I just talked about it, right? That was cool to get in there. I caught 3 small little, you know, rinky-dink largemouth, but it's always kind of neat just to even catch one. Does he have it? I don't know if he has a channel, Cindy. Why don't you go look for it yourself, okay? Why do you ask? It's just bizarre. It's almost like you try to encourage people to... anyway, we got Richard Watts. Thank you. And nothing going on. Doesn't look like there's any bombing going on. How do you all find these people? I know. I'm hoping, you know what I always wish is that people on my channel, you're going to get the reality of a case. What's the point of watching sensationalism when it's almost never true? Just for entertainment purposes, or what? I don't understand. I guess that's my issue, though. I don't know, Cindy, if he does or not, but why don't you go look? Maybe you can... All right, does anybody else want to do some, did I miss anything? We need super chats for poll questions. I mean, there might be something that surprises me in the case regarding ping information or something. My thing is I think that here's the thing, everybody. Kohberger is the killer in this case. There is no doubt about it. So that means that anything that the defense is doing is not going to be above board. It's going to be smoke and mirror shit to make people think something, but it's not going to be true. Right? So isn't that amazing? So it's sort of like, you know, when people accuse you, like they accuse me of being an FBI plant, and I go out and I go out there and I just noticed there's like this other color on the screen. Where is that? I don't know. I don't see it on this screen, but it's over here. What's this screen over here? It's weird. Yeah, like they accused me of being a FBI plant, and I put out false information, etc. Yeah, go check it out, Cindy, and come back. See you later. Yeah, let us all know. You seem like you're really interested. Ah, look at that. You guys are crazy. Let's see. He works hard. It's FBI plant. Sounds like a cool... Yeah, so they say that I work with the FBI and other agencies, and I go out and I sell a narrative that they want me to sell, right? Like, so I'm just putting out, like, I don't care about finding the truth. I just want to put out the facts that the government have, right? And so what's weird about it is I know that every video that they're going to make, or anytime they talk about this, that everything they say is full of crap. And you know how I know that? I know that because I'm the person they're talking about. Like, you actually know it in your own head that you didn't do that. Right? I didn't see one after yours. I scrolled up there. The one after yours is Wendy Wooble saying Cheryl's Wave. Then Cheryl's Wave. And then, poll question from Tamran. There we go. Oh, yeah. So, basically, I guess we can do the poll question. I'm not really sure how to put it in there, but let's try it. Yeah, Cindy must have had to go to sleep early tonight. All right, anyways, okay, you got the poll question up there, right? And let me show you on my map. So this is what they're talking about right here. Where on pass number 3.
Harder if he buried it. No way to metal detect the route.
It would be hard to find it even if it was in a river, you know. I mean, my God, a huge moving river like that. And they don't even know. I mean, if they found it, I'd be pumped, but we've talked about that. It sort of sounded like they found it based on the wording Hitler used. So on pass number 3, where do you think the vehicle parked here? Well, that's because you're not listening, Daphne. So where, on pass number 3, where did the Elantra park? Definitely didn't park on D, but it did stop, right? We know it stopped for 35 seconds or so, and then it drove out, but it did stop. So where did it stop? You see that? And let's see what we got up here. Oh wait, the poll question doesn't work because, okay, hold on a second.
Well, who is going to be watching with Gray and the Freak.
I guess.
Woman raising hand emoji. Hit subscribe. Ring.
I'm gonna redo that poll question. That's why it doesn't work when you don't. Hold on a second. I think I can do it over. Well, I might be able to do it here. Let me try it over here one more time. Let me try it. Start a poll. And then I think, see, it's right underneath there. I'll have to put A, B, C, D. All right, there you go. So there's the same poll question, but you picked the one, and on the screen here, this is what we're not on the final stop. This is just past number 3 when the DoorDash was there. Where did Kohberger stop? I think it's either C, B, or A, but I actually think it's probably B or A because she said she saw him. So C would be, she wouldn't even see him up there. Right there, B or A, I think is really the only option for this. Yeah, it's not a yes or no question. I just thought she did it right and posted it. You're right, Daphne. For once. All right. Well, it's right there on the screen. A, see? A, B, C, D. So on this, C is right there. D is back there. Let me go over here. Let me just use this thing. And B is right here, basically, where this car is. And then A is like right here. Did he pull up right next to over on this side? And she was right here. Like that. All right, what do we got? B. All right, right up there with the maroon car. That's what I think too. I think that's you know what I think too? I think she parked near this porta potty, like right in there. Just kind of pulled in and stopped behind all these other cars, and then Kohberger was right there. So that's why she was like right next to him. Now, but people say that he was looking into Xana's window. Well, if that's true, then he'd have to be right here to look into Xana's window. All right, so what do we got? 50. Come on, you guys, answer the poll. We need to get to 60. Ding, 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 ding. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let me put back up the map so you can see it. A is up here where we are currently on the 360-degree video. B is where the maroon car is. C is back behind Madison Mogan's window. And D is way back in the back here. I got to do Cheryl Moran's poll here. Okay, I guess that's it. Nobody else is answering. Only 50 people. Whew, wow. Let's see. So here's Cheryl Moran's question. This is where the trolls are gonna just love this one, man. We'll get the number of trolls. See. Yep, you guys, we need another about 20 channel memberships, and then I'll be able to donate 5. We're currently not even close. I used to think he was in the lot behind the house. Yeah, I mean, I think, well, maybe we should ask that same poll question again. You could say this is pass number 3. Mark, this doesn't have anything to do with the final one. This is just pass number 3 when the DoorDash driver was there. We know based on this. Just watch this. Watch this, everybody. This will all come out at trial. You'll be one of the few people that actually know the answer. At 3:57:27, the headlights are seen on 1127, and then the vehicle is spotted at 3:58:23 passing 1112 King Road. So that means there are 50. What's the time frame? 56 seconds, right? So check it out. It comes around right there. 56 seconds later, it's over there. It doesn't take that long to drive there. It takes maybe 15 seconds. So there's a 30 or 40 seconds or so where the vehicle stopped somewhere in this little area right here. It stopped, and then it drove out. And that's all we're talking about on pass number 3 with the DoorDash driver. Wow, we got 73%. Cheryl, is that good? That sounds kind of bad. Maybe people will be at work. I don't know. But hey, guys, we need your support on the channel tonight. We're still way, way off the numbers. So B makes a lot of sense right there, doesn't it? So if you go back a little bit, this is basically B. And what if she's right? I mean, look where this car is. So imagine that just being the DoorDash driver. That's close, but you know, if they were parked right there, wow. I mean, you know, so you get out of your car, you walk that short distance around the house, drop off the DoorDash bag, come back around, beep, beep, you know, and at the moment she says, at 3:59, I'm dropping it off, Kohberger's vehicle is spotted. I mean, that's kind of an interesting way to look at it. Kohberger's vehicle is spotted right there on Willanta Drive when she says, I'm delivering it. So if you just look at it like that, they had to have passed each other at some point. And I think she was there earlier than 3:59. Oh, that sucks, Aussie Trisha. Nicely. I hope you're doing well. All right, we need who's doing another super chat poll question? I'm going to end this one. So it looks like there's only about 10 trolls in here currently. I think it was, but I think it's more likely he left that sheath on purpose. They can't prove that, so they'll just say it got knocked off in a fight, and that gives some, you know, heroicism or whatever the term is for one of the victims. And there we go. Yeah, well, the streets, this is a street right here. That's a street right there. Hurt my hand, so typing is difficult. Well, I'm glad you didn't get hurt worse, Aussie Trisha.
Thanks all that commented. Hurt my hand so typing is difficult. Miss you all. Red heart emoji. Red heart emoji.
Well, apparently that's when she, all it says on the document is it was delivered at 3:59. Many DoorDash people have commented that they'll often pull up and hit the button that they delivered it, and that readies the camera, and then they get out of their car and then, you know, deliver it. You know, so maybe she waited around until the app got ready to take the picture and then exited her car. because there is, so let's take a look at this again. So look at this. It says in the documents that at 3:59 she delivered it. However, at 3:59, 46, 48, and 51, that's when we hear the key fob. Now, do you guys believe that the key, maybe that's a good question. Now, the key fob could be some other vehicle, but I find it would just be so incredibly low odds that there's this other vehicle at 4 in the morning that's key fobbing almost exactly the same time that a DoorDash car is there. Hey, thanks so much, Ozzy, Trisha. It's Arvo over there, right? I learn all the terms. Zozo taught them all to me. I think this is going to be a really valuable thing to have here, and I'm sure during the trial we can add a whole bunch of different time elements to this and just have it nailed in. But so far I have 258 different time elements associated with the case. Some of the really interesting stuff, if you haven't seen my channel before, is right in here. So pass number 1, this is 1, the same exact moments in time. And if you go over to the right, this is where it gets interesting. It talks about the speed and the timing, and it's crazy on the last loop. I mean, see how there's 41 seconds there, 37 seconds there, and 35 there. This last one is 18 seconds. I mean, it's just hauling through there. Yeah, 18 seconds right there. Hey, thanks, Mark Willis. Gifted a membership too. Awesome. You had to set the knife sheath down with the knife in it. Is that one we're asking now? Yeah. So a lot of people say no. I don't. I actually think opposite. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's amazing how everybody just sort of almost reflexively types in no without really thinking through it, you know? And the reason I say that is because you have a knife sheath that was pristine, apparently, other than one single source of DNA on the underside of the button snap. Doesn't that just seem like somebody who forgot to clean a specific spot? Why was the entire knife so clean? And the reason is I think he was intending to leave the knife sheath there and had absolutely did not believe that his DNA was on it. Right? That's why he left it there. Why would he clean a knife that thoroughly that he's going to take with him? He has a knife sheath, and he's going to... Wouldn't he just take that with him? And you go, yeah, well, well, Gray, he was just preparing. He thought if he left it there, he wanted... Oh, give me a break, for God's sake. He cleaned it because he was leaving it there, and he wanted to be known as the KBAR killer. This guy... Think about it like this, too. I'm not, I don't... This is just the way I talk. I don't think anything less of anybody who thinks that... I'm just going to make my argument here, okay? This guy was in school as a serial killer. Like, he went to classes learning all about serial killers. He's going to want to do every single thing that the serial killers do, right? Ooh, crap, we're going to use the knife. What was the hell was the name of that guy that used the KBAR knife also? Danny Rolling, right? He wanted to do Danny Rolling with the KBAR knife. Then he's going to sort of mimic the BK killer. We probably liked him because it's, Brian Kohberger. He's going to do, maybe it was just more leaving something behind. But I think, if you think about it, wouldn't he want to leave a calling card? That's what it is. It's not a signature. It's a calling card. Wouldn't Kohberger want to do that? Because he want to do all the cool things that the serial killers do. Right? He want to do all the cool things. Like, oh, wow. Hey, look at this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to order KBAR knives on Amazon. Then I'll leave one at each of the victims' homes. And then they'll know that it's the same killer each time. But they won't find any DNA or anything. The only... I mean, it's crazy, right? Like... If he didn't leave the knife sheath there, or like if he didn't leave DNA on the bottom of the button snap, he would just be, it would be, wow, these people were killed by somebody who left intentionally. This is what I'll tell you right now. If that knife sheath didn't have DNA on the button snap, law enforcement would be saying that he left it there as a calling card. Don't you agree with that? I guarantee you law enforcement would be going, he left that knife sheath as a calling card. Look how clean it was. But because there's this little tiny bit on the bottom of the button snap, all of a sudden, oh yeah, you get what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to the knife Danny Rolling used. He bought it though. Same thing. So that's my opinion. And it's okay if I actually don't mind when I'm in the minority, because how many times have I been in minority when the reality comes out, boom, right? It's crazy because I don't just randomly say something. I don't know who Warren is.
What do you think he carried out of the house? Anything?
Wipe prints it down. What does that even mean? Wiped, unless he wiped prints it down too. What the heck does that even mean? Hey, thanks, Brenna. What do you think he carried out of the house? Anything? I don't know. I don't think he took anything from the crime scene. He could have, though. I mean, if they have any items at his house or apartment of anything from that house, that'll be the most devastating thing. Like, the driver's license he has. This is what I think about those, by the way. The driver's license or ID cards or whatever that he found, it was inside of inside of a glove or something, inside of a box or something. I think that those are from dry runs that he did. Other times where, while practicing his craft, he went into some other homes and he knew that he could have done it, but that's not the victim he wanted. But he was practicing and he got all the way to the point where he was able to take their ID and he kept it. That's just my opinion on it. And then later on, it was go time. So he doesn't need to take anything now, but those were sort of mementos that he kept from those other dry runs that he did. And obviously I can't prove what I'm saying there. It's just a thought. Yeah, you mean the thing that they said looked like a vacuum? I mean, that was just stuff he had himself. He's not carrying a knife sharpener around. You guys, come on. Put a 1 if you don't think if you think he wouldn't sharpen the knife before entering the house. I mean, I really don't think that he went into the house and went, this knife is getting kind of dull. Let me sit here for a little bit. And let me just keep sharpening this sucker up. Yeah, glove, that's what I thought. Will there be any other footage of him or dry runs presented at trial? I hope so. I mean, I think it's interesting that Asian lady that liked him, and that whole story. I'm not sure that's going to make it to trial. That that he took her key, etc. Oh, he sharpened that knife over and over. All right, let's do some more. Come on, do the poll questions. We got to do the super chat poll questions. That's how we're going to get to the goal tonight. Well, the thing, then when they say vacuum, it could have been, you know, maybe the knife itself sort of looked like one of the edger vacuum part. Let's try to get like 9 more channel memberships, and then we'll be able to, then I'll donate 5 memberships myself. But we also got to do the, you know, the poll questions. Well, they can be, because I can make multiple options. I didn't read that poll. I mean, I didn't think about it before I posted it. It wasn't a yes or no question. It was a multiple choice. Yeah, I like that attachment. You know, the little edger piece that kind of looks like a knife. Hey, look at that. Mark Willis jumped in there with 5. You got a poll question, Mark Willis? You can just type it in. I'll put it in there. Okay, there's one by Natalie here. Let's see. I got to end the one up here. Was the sheath left on purpose? It got, after I made my arguments, it got worse. I doubt at trial, unless they have evidence, they're going to say that it was a calling card. They're going to say that it came off in a fight, because it's a better sort of story to tell. Now, if there's other blood all over the knife, and the only single source they found was on the button snap, then I definitely would change my mind. Like, if there's blood all over it, and it was a mixture, but the only single source was on the underside of the button snap, then I'll, you know, I also don't, I think is weird is they haven't figured out yet how to separate DNA, like when it's mixed, to just quickly go ding, 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 and you got it. I mean, I think some people have. Somebody said that they have. All right, here's the Natalie question up there. Thanks, Mark Willis. Does he have a question? No poll question? Right, but why would you change your mind? What piece of evidence made you change your mind? The brakes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what? There's nothing out there that would make you change your mind if he left it there intentionally or not. Kohberger studied serial killers. He wanted to do all the cool things that serial killers did. I think he wanted to be known as the KBAR killer, and then eventually, if he ever got caught, it'd be Kohberger, the KBAR killer. I mean, isn't that weird? I mean, I actually think he thought that stuff. Oh, there you go. I do, Mark. I think Madison Mogen was the only target that he intended to kill that night. And I think that's another reason I think he was going to leave that knife sheath as his calling card. He was going to sneak into that house. He was going to go up to the room. Nobody was supposed to be there. And he was going to kill her. And he was going to leave that knife sheath sitting there. And he was going to disappear into the night. But he needed to leave a calling card, one little piece of information that would be a calling card to what he's going to be doing. It turns out that Kaylee was in the room too. That caused a problem. It made noise. Then Xana Kernodle heard something. She came up, and then Ethan, then it just turned into, it went out of control at that point, right? That's my thoughts. Has BK killed before? Most people say no. I mean, I would say no too. Yeah. So I'm putting in Mark's question up there. See what you guys say. Well, of course it's the case, Natalie. And Ethan was drunk and he was sleeping. So it's not like, I mean, you guys, we've gone over this so many times. It's amazing. Wow, man, isn't Ethan huge? I don't even think Ethan ever woke up. I think he was like passed out, drank. He was so out of it. He was just completely out of it. And even loud noises didn't wake him up. And I think he got hit in an artery when he was still sleeping, and he maybe woke up for a second, but then he passed out, and then Kohberger cut his, the leg or whatever, he carved it, whatever the hell he did. I mean, I think he might have just like carved his I don't know if it was a hamstring area to keep him from being able to move if he happened to wake up. Hey, thanks, M10. Very kind, very kind. Come on, Natalie. Michigan Girl, Elise, Fairbanks, Angelina, Mooches 33, and LA Warrior 77. Welcome. Yeah, you probably knew a lot of different things. Do you think BK had only one victim in mind? See, I remember when the case originally started, I thought that he intended to go to the house and kill all the girls that were in that house. That's what my original thoughts were. But after I went out there myself, and basically, I mean, this is it, right? I mean, I was there in September too. But this is the day before they tore this house down. I made sure I got out there to get the last shots. These might be some of the last actual video that's useful. But when I went out there, I was thinking, from this spot right there, if you park your car, all those other nights you go out there, he can see right into Madison Mogan's room. That's her room right there. You can see right in there. I bet you there's times where her window was open. She got out of her shower, out of the bathroom up there, and then went into her room, and he was watching there, and he just kept watching. You can't really see into Kaylee's room too easily because it's her room's got an angle to it where, I mean, we could look at the map and from above. So see the angle of this patio down here? Can you guys see that? That's the same angle of her the slider in her room, so it's kind of like over there, and so you'd have to be way over here just to kind of get an angle that doesn't really look into the room. From here, you could park right at the end of this spot right there and see right into the middle of her room. And I think, and also Madison Mogan is the absolutely isn't she sort of almost like a cliche, just beautiful, sort of sorority college girl type, I mean, they're almost all like that, but she's, Madison Mogan is sort of like the quintessential college student that somebody might be obsessed with, like Kohberger, right? And so I just think that the way it was set up is he'd come around and he'd look always through these windows here in the back, and he might even have known that Kaylee was gone, and he didn't know that she was there that night, but had known that she'd moved out. Now she's all alone. See, think about it from his point of view. He knows from all the research he does and the stalking he does that Kaylee Gonzalez isn't there, right? So he pulls up back there, and now there's just one person on the third floor. Right, they're all, I agree that they're all very good looking people, but she was sort of like the, classic, I don't know, sorority girl type, Barbie doll kind of, you know what I mean? And so, let's just think about it. Oh yeah, so let's say that Kohberger knew from his stalking that there was nobody else up there. Wow, how perfect would that be? To go through that slider, and just from observing, you know how to get up there. You can see from that same position. In this shot right here, see that right there? That's an actual window that above the stairs, so you can see people coming up, their head coming up, and then walking up, and then making it up onto the floor. So he could see that that was stairs. So if you go into the slider, even if he'd never been in there before, he goes out of the kitchen, and there's stairs right there. So that would be obviously the same stairs. And then he goes upstairs, and he would know that Madison Mogan's room, after he goes up to the stairs, would be you take a right, because he sees how people go up those stairs. And then he goes into her room, and he's surprised because Kaylee's in there. And then there's a battle and sounds, and it gets loud. And then he wanted to leave, but I think before that he was spotted by Xander Kernodle, and he wanted to make sure she didn't say anything. And he followed her, and then boom, there's Ethan Chapin too. I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. You guys can do whatever you want. We'll see. I guess we'll see at trial. They're going to probably lay out their theory. It might be different now than maybe Dateline got from their inside person. All right, we need 3. Let's see. 4 more channel memberships total. I don't know if I was doing the math right earlier, but yeah, we need 4 more channel memberships or whatever. Then I'll donate 5 myself, and then we'll have given away 30. That would be pretty sweet, right? There you go. Probably did many times on his night jogs. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he jogged over to the house. That's like a 10-mile. I think he just kind of... He would drive over there late at night, sit in his car, look, wait, and watch. And then he'd drive back. That's why 23 times they say that he was within 100 yards of the house. I'm not really sure about that information. I think even Lisa... I mean, we've looked this thing up before, and the wording wasn't quite like that. The wording is that the phone pinged 23 times on a tower within 100 yards of it. You know, like, it didn't even say within 100 yards. It was like, it said it pinged 23 times on the tower that utilized the same resources that the people living at 1122 King Road utilize, right? There you go. And by the way, if you guys haven't watched the video that I put out earlier today, can you go watch it and then share the video too? It's like that video, I've never seen a video do so poorly. It just went boom. Has the sighting of the man changing clothing been disproven? Well, you should have asked, has it been proven? Well, nobody knows if that's true or not. You know, Bethany Funk people claim that Bethany Funk said that she could see somebody changing their clothes. And if that's true, then that means he parked right down here next to this maroon vehicle. Thank you, Papa Squatch. And thanks, Cheryl. I think you sort of helped start a flow tonight with your original challenge. And then Mark's suggestion, I think it was Mark. That was you, right, that wanted to do the poll questions? I wonder why they haven't released the last pullover he got in August. Well, I bet you that pullover shows that he's missing a front license plate. And I think they're going to... They say they're only going to use it for identification purposes or something of that nature. But I think it's going to be... They might be using it for that, but they're going to be allowed to play it. And, oh, look at that. Do you know anything, officer, did you also notice anything unusual about this vehicle? Well, yes, I noticed it didn't have a front license plate. And why did you think that was unusual? Well, in the state of Idaho and Washington, you are required to have a front license plate, so I thought that was odd. But it turns out that he said he was from Pennsylvania, where they don't. Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty interesting if that stuff's in there. Yeah. Well, thanks, Harry Me Boy. Except amazingly, it's got like 2,000 views. That's just wow. Or it did at that time. I don't know if it's at 3,000 now, but I think he was stalking that neighborhood. What do you mean? I think it's just stalking that one house. He just had one set of people, and that's her right there. He didn't have multiple. Well, tonight, look at that. I'm going to go to that one if that one fails, you know. Well, you got to do the super chats there. Natalie, we'll do another one. Do it. Go ahead. Do you think only had one victim? 68 said yes. M10, what is Ann Taylor binge watching tonight instead of
Chewbacca?
I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
What is Ann Taylor binge watching tonight instead of prepping for trial? Lol JK, but kinda gotta wonder.
Yeah, she's the laziest attorney I've ever seen. Yeah, let's let's see. There we go. You gotta choose, man. You can tell how old I am just by the choices I give you up there. Yeah, she really is one of the laziest. Have you guys ever heard anybody say the stuff that she said? Stuff like, well, you know, I haven't had time to look at all the surveillance footage because what the hell are you talking about? Please remove what? Oh, you want to get rid of the... Yeah, I don't know why that's an automatic thing. There we go. Let's see here. Fantasy Highland. Yeah. Z-plane. Z-plane. Does anyone here think that Ann Taylor really thinks Brian Kohberger is innocent? No. Am I supposed to... come on, that wasn't a super chat one, but I'll do it anyways because you got that 5. Here we go. That'll be the one, the one that you didn't do earlier. Let me end this one. So we had Fantasy Island, Love Boat, Mod Squad, and Bonanza was last. Okay. I can tell you this, if I had access to those surveillance, I'd be watching those. Oh my God. Except if I knew my client was guilty. That's the thing. If I'm on the other side, I'm going to want to look at it. Does anyone here think that Ann Taylor really thinks Brian Kohberger is innocent? I don't. I don't think so. I think everybody, the pro-burgers will have to say yes because they think he is, and then Harry, me boy. Thank you. Doom, doom, doom. The trial's like a story. Both sides tell a story, and the jury decides which one they like. Well, one person tells a true story, and the other side tells a completely fabricated story to try to trick the jury. That's how I look at it. Nominate her for an Oscar. All right, anybody else have any more poll questions? Be cool if we could get 4 more not coffees. We don't have. I don't think we have any coffees tonight. I haven't seen any pop up. Yeah, that's terrible, you guys. Come on. There. Coffee right there. Well, look at that. There's Mark Willis. All right. Let me get a... I have to use Firefox. What do you think the... By the way, this is totally off the subject if you're not here, but I don't know if you're still here, Cheryl Moran and everybody else. What do you guys think that the Iranian state TV said... Tonight, a great surprise will occur. One the world will remember for centuries. I mean, that's pretty creepy. You know, what the hell does that even mean? That's wild. All right, let me get to the... Maybe they're just trying to make people nervous. That is a good thumbnail, you guys. Look at that thing. Oh, that doesn't show it. Look at that. That's awesome. Okay, click on that. Membership, gifting. And there we go. Very cool. Ann Taylor Fan Club. Join the club. No thanks. Well, it's past night for them. Well, yeah, it's still kind of dark out, early morning, 4 something. Yeah, I guess nothing happened, but you know, what makes me nervous about Iran is something that I've thought a lot, that they have nukes, a nuke or so already. Either Russia, China, or somebody gave it to them a long time ago for some sort of deal they made, and they've just held on to it, and that's the scary thing. It makes me nervous. All right, here's a poll question. Here we go. Okay, the last poll was, does anyone here think that Ann Taylor really thinks... And 95 said no. That was it's a good question. All right. Let me do another, start a poll. Did the sheath fall out of hoodie pocket? I don't know. Do we know that he was wearing a hoodie? I just heard that he was wearing a balaclava, But there are those other pictures where he's got a hoodie on. Well, thank you guys for allowing me to be able to donate the 5 by getting to a particular number. But if you guys, you know, we could maybe make up a little bit from yesterday if we can. Yesterday was just so far below, it's going to be hard to catch up. Yeah, so if you guys, you know, if you still want to ask some poll questions with super chats, that'd be cool. And then tomorrow at like before 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be on my time. So that's 1 o'clock East Coast time. But I think they're an hour behind me. And I think they're back on YouTube again. It's not that little website link that they had. Well, it was the Iranian news said that. Iranian state TV said that. It's kind of creepy sounding. Let's see. No, I have it on top chat. I don't have it on live chat. Voted no, but I think he left it on purpose. Left what? Oh. Yeah, see, if it fell out, if I think he left it on purpose, I don't think it fell out of anything. Right. I think, again, that the knife sheath was left as a calling card because Kohberger wanted to put all the things that serial killers do, and he wanted to start it off, and he was always going to be leaving a KBAR knife at other people that he killed, a knife sheath, I mean. And he just forgot to clean that little tiny spot on the button snap on the bottom of it. That's why I think he left it there. That's right.
Trail getting extended would be a good poll.
I don't. Oh yeah, we could do that. Is the trial? I'll fix the wording there. Hold on. So up here was no. Most people said on the pocket of the hoodie. This is just your opinion. Is the trial getting extended? Hey, see you later. This is the breaks. Really hope Judge Hippler tells Ann Taylor to knock it off. I'd love to. I want to see the argument of this third party person. I think the judge is going to get angry. I mean, just because somebody has the possibility of doing something doesn't mean anything. Anybody that you don't know what they were doing has the possibility of doing something. But in this case, the only person that everything points to directly, and he even admits to driving around, and Ann Taylor one time almost seemed to admit that vehicle spotted a third of a mile away was his vehicle on the Ridge Road camera, missing a front plate. But you can't keep following it, so it can't be his because there's too many gaps. She thinks that every single house needs to have a camera that you can then, literally, like, it's still in the shot as the other camera is filming it, and then because if it misses for 1 second, an alien spacecraft could have beamed the White launcher on it and then replaced it with another car that looked just like it. Here in the island of Puerto Rico. Oh, what do? They just turn off your electricity? What's that? Right. I wish we could get to know that. I thought that was a little bit later in the month though that they were going to do that. But I guess this is kind of a long time from the last time. The Dolly Madison murders? I don't think so. Yeah, but check it out. I've made videos on this, and I think this is pretty crazy. But Gray, the whole world is against him. Ooh. How many people hate when I make that little whiny voice sound? Come on, let me do a poll. Let's see. Is the trial getting extended? 79% said no. All right, here we go. All right, there you go, you guys. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't give a damn what your answer is. I'm going to still do it. All right, here we go. There we go. Oh, yeah, look at that. I do, Gray. I hate it. Look at that. We're at 40%. Gray, I would watch your show more if you didn't do the whiny voice. Ooh, Gray. Just deal with it, okay? Jesus, my God. The sucky suck. You must be from Australia, Marin Powell. Let's see. We don't know any of the questions we are talking about here, LOL. His voice is perfect right now. I don't know what that means. But hey, all right. 57, so hate, man, that's a strong word. You got 36% of you hate it. Now type in why you hate it. Of course, that would give away that you're one of the people that said yes. Hey, make sure to hit that like button, you guys. Hit that like button 10, 20, 25, 30. Hit that like button 40. Do I hear 50, 55, 60? Hit that like button. It's one of the easiest damn things to do in the world. You just use your nose, use your toes, whatever blows. Hit that like button. It's so damn simple. Alright. You talking to me? No, do tell. It reminds me of the whiners on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, it's not a real. That's not what I actually sound like. Okay, it's an imitation of the people who whine all the time. Don't you get it? I mean, underneath my videos, I got people that sound like the most, like Karens on steroids. You know, the kind of person, if you're fishing in the middle of the lake, they would probably get a protractor out and see if the pie wedge that extends to the center of the lake to their property, if you're on it, they go, "Hey, you're not allowed to fish here, you bastard!" Or, I mean, excuse me, "Hey, you're not allowed to fish here!" Yeah, like that, okay? And so, that's what you likely sound like, all right? Let's be honest. Yeah. So who's got some more poll questions? We got to keep doing with the super chats on the side. I know we reached the thing where I donated the 5, but I want to try to get some make up for yesterday a little bit. Yeah. Well, who would sound like that in real life? I thought we're gonna have pizza tonight. Yeah, I remember. You know what time I got spanked the worst one time? My grandparents were supposed to take us to, well, they were going to take us to Poor Richard's or something for a steak, but they took us to Chinese food, and that was good. But when we were leaving, I said, "Thanks for no steak." I think it was just being goofy. I didn't really care. The Chinese food was good, and I got spanked. I got spanked pretty bad because it was kind of rude and mean, wasn't it? You know, my grandparents took us to dinner, and I was like, "Hey, thanks for no steak." Hey, good for you, Papa Squatch. All right. We need a Karen emoji. Yeah. Yeah. 100 I get in a bunch of... I mean, it's just amazing underneath some videos. The comments that people make. Just crazy. I know. Isn't that amazing, Zep? You are pretty rude, aren't you? Let's see. Did BK's mom realize what she... thanks for being honest, though, Zep. Oftentimes, people won't admit it like yourself, but thank you for admitting that you're rude. I appreciate that. Let's see. Call Dime, yes. Cali Dime? Some other channels don't let you say anything that is opposite of the YouTuber. Yeah, people in here can say opposite stuff. See, what happens is, this is what happens, right? Somebody comes in here and says something like, they come in and they'll say, Gray, you're full of crap, man. There's no way. And then I go, hey, and then you get timed out for something like that, right? And then later they say, Gray kicked me out for disagreeing. You see them type it somewhere else. And they're just such lunatics. No, nobody ever kicks you out for disagreeing. Or even removes your comment for disagreeing. It's the way you do it. Okay? If you had a good point and you wrote it down, nobody cares. Yeah. Well, good, Natalie. It's good to know. It said it right here on a... I don't know, BRIC news. I saw it in multiple. It was reported actually on a news channel. I don't know, right here. And it was other places too. I was just looking for this one. It says, just in, Iranian state says tonight a great surprise will occur, one that the world will remember for centuries. I don't know if this is some gimmicky, fake, but it was in other places too. It wasn't like that was the only. This is a serious threat to our democratic. If Iran's great surprise is a serious threat or dramatic bluster, the ongoing conflict. This is Grok. With Iran's missile attacks and Israel's strike on Iranian TV suggests a possible major retaliation, like a large-scale missile strike. Iranian officials warning of painful response support this. However, Iran's degraded missile forces, the Israelis are taking out all their launchers, but that's why it makes me nervous that they have something else. Like maybe they have terror cells somewhere that are going to do stuff, and that makes me nervous. Like maybe they did something to their water supply, for example, and then you wake up in the morning, overnight, and you were asleep, you get up in the morning and you drink something, and, there's just so many crazy things that people would do. It's okay to be a dork, Natalie. Dork. I was in the movie Dodgeball. That was so funny when that guy said, "You're a dork." You don't hear that too often anymore. That was from back like in 1980. Yeah, the sleeper cells, yeah. Okay, this is another by T up here. Yeah, I always wonder about that. That's a good question there. So 100 people voted. That means 36 people hate my whiny voice. I should do a follow-up. Does my whiny voice keep you from watching my channel? And I'd say that and then anybody that said yes, I would say I'm now committed to doing the whiny voice for a third of each show. All right. Here we go. And there is this question. Now, I've always wondered, did he have a place? And I don't know if you guys saw one of my somewhat recent shows or videos. Let me turn these on. I have so many. And then I'll turn off the... Yeah, there's like this other route that you can take. Now, see this green line over here? So this one, there's no more missing 16 minutes if the car takes this green route here. And in fact, in this area, cuts across, goes right through Blaine, and then just before he gets to the highway, he turns his phone back on, pinging off of this tower. Because you know what they said? That the phone pinged west of this tower here. So that's interesting. So that means, I think it came like this, got on the highway, then turned it on, boom, and it pinged west of that tower. That was in the 48-hour special. A little tiny piece of information that other people didn't really know that it mattered at all, but it actually did. Because this is the stuff that I look at. So right there, and instead of this other, going down like this, it took that right, and when I did it, it came out like at, remember how it says 448? I got him here at 449 by taking that route. That's close enough, man. When you drive that far, if you drive 2 miles an hour over the speed limit, you're there. So, that absolutely fits. You come out there, turn it on. Now he needs his phone on because he's going to take these crazy routes across. So this cell tower here picks him up. Then these 2 cell towers here could pick him up in this area as he's driving through here. Then he comes up here. Then the tower near Johnson picks him up. There's also another tower up here on Bald Butte. And he goes up like that. Boom. Did Brian pre-drug a hole to dump closer knife? 65 said yes. I'm going to end that poll. I don't believe the river ditching thing. That just, seems so like cliche almost. And plus it would be during the daytime. So, I don't know. It's just risking too much. All right. Who's got another poll? Super chat poll questions. I think he wanted a site to revisit. Yeah, I saw Timothy Cecil in here earlier. Is somebody missing him? Or I don't know. There's something I didn't see anybody mention him. Sorry, I don't get to read the chat as much as I'd like. I mean, tonight I see it more than normal, but I'm always looking at something else. I mean, it's so incredible, you guys. I don't understand the Kohbergers really at all. I don't know what planet they're from. It's crazy. I mean, just think about it really quick. You've got, first of all, just going back in time, you got a guy named Brian Kohberger. Just that alone. No, I'm just kidding. He is in school in criminology, right? So that gives him special knowledge over time, taking those classes, of what not to do at a, not to contaminate a crime scene, etc. He wrote papers on this. He did polls on other criminals, on what that felt like, and different elements of, what it was like to commit the crimes, different things like that. So he had this knowledge building up. There's going to be where he went to. I'm not sure they're going to allow that part, but the part where he was in a bar and then he got put on a list because he would act really strange and inappropriate with women. Then he got that other girl that went on a date with him, and she had to pretend that she was sick, went to the bathroom, and then he left, and then later texted her and said, "Hey, you have nice birthing hips." You know, it's just really weird stuff, right? So those are just sort of on the side. And then you've got a guy that he owns a white Elantra. Sure, you know, he owns a white Elantra. It happens to be missing a front license plate at the time of the homicide. And then it turns out that, hey, whoa, Tom Pascal. Always happy to support your channel. Thank you for the great analysis day after day. Take care. Well, thank you.
Always happy to support your channel. Thanks for
Just
the
in and out?
analysis day after day. Take care.
You're just in and out, Tom? Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Let me do this.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Okay, I got Cheryl asked a
Have
poll
you
question.
subscribed, turned on notifications, and hit that like button?
That's a good way to do that. Let me see. Okay, so what what Cheryl is saying here is, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't done this yet, hit the subscribe button, and then there's actually the notification bell, and then you select all videos. I've looked in my analytics, and like 1% of the people on my channel have that clicked. That's horrendous. All right, so if you guys, you know, go out there and make sure to hit that notification bell. Anyways, thanks Cheryl Moran and Tom Pascal. I knew a Pascal in college. And, well, actually, grade school and high school. So, Kohberger owns a white Elantra, missing a front license plate. Okay, yeah, whatever, you know. And then this murder happened of 4 college students. And then they started investigating the case, and they noticed that there's this vehicle, a white sedan, driving around. After a while, they were able to determine that it was first they said it was 2011 to 2013 white Elantra. Then they made it 2011 to 2016 because they got clearer footage at Ridge Road. That's why they changed it. You know, but apparently pro-burgers don't believe that you're able to change something you said originally if you got better information. So if you were looking at a clock and you didn't have a second hand because it was too blurry, and you said something happened at 3:19, and then once you got, oh wow, we got clear footage, it's 3:19 and 27 seconds, they don't want you to be able to switch it to 3:29 and 27 seconds because you already said it was 3:29. That's how stupid their logic is. Oh, you want me to do that? Okay, I'll do that one. So only 75 said yes. That means we got 25% trolls in here. It's always something about that number. And here's another question. Are you a pro-burger? It's anonymous, you guys. It's anonymous. You know, what she's really saying is, are you somebody devoid of simple common sense, logic, and reason? Are you somebody void of common sense, logic, and reason? Please hit the yes above. Did you hear Gray? He's so mean to us pro-burgers. You guys are crazy, man. You guys are freaking nuts. All right? So then the murders happen, and they were able to determine it's a white Elantra. Okay. And they didn't have anything. But then, during the murders, they found a knife sheath. After they came to investigate it, they found a knife sheath on the bed that appears to be related to the weapon used to kill all 4 victims. And law enforcement put out a, hey, look for a white Elantra. And by the way, Kohberger's name came up twice in one night on Pullman's campus, that it was, they found Brian Kohberger's white Elantra, but at that time he wasn't associated with the crime, but he was in a database. And then they took the knife sheath, swabbed it, and found one single source of DNA on the button snap. And then they took that DNA and they gave it to Othram Labs, who was doing it too slow. They were the FBI needed a rapid identification, so they took over. Then they cut some corners and were able to come up with a tip using the name, with the name of Brian Kohberger in the tip. So then they gave the tip to law enforcement, and now they have to investigate the tip to see if it's viable. So they started following Kohberger and then simultaneously doing all kinds of other investigations. It turns out, oh wow, he actually owns a white Elantra. See, now they look back in the records and they find in those early day databases that his name popped up twice. But they didn't know that Brian Kohberger owned a white Elantra when they found his name. When they got his name, and then the law enforcement started looking it up. Now we know that, oh wow, he owns a white Elantra. So that's interesting just in that by itself. So then they follow him all the way up to Pennsylvania, and they collect the trash at his parents' house using the trash collectors to collect it, and then they were able to swab everything, and they got a DNA sample from the garbage, and it turns out it was the biological father of the contributor to the DNA on the knife sheath. They tried CODIS first, by the way, with the DNA from the knife sheath and got no hits, so that's why they switched straight over to rapid forensic genetic genealogy. And so when they did get the trash, it turns out it was the biological father of the contributor to the DNA on the knife sheath. Then that was enough to get a warrant for the arrest of Brian Kohberger. So they broke into his house, they smashed in the door, whatever the hell they did, they got in there, and Kohberger at like 1:30 in the morning is sitting at a table separating his trash from the garbage, wearing latex gloves. Apparently he'd been putting his own trash into the neighbor's garbage can, which explains why when they swabbed the trash that the garbage men picked up, his DNA wasn't in there because he'd been separating it, likely getting paranoid after being pulled over twice on the drive home. So then they took a swab after they arrested Brian Kohberger, took a swab of his DNA, and lo and behold, it matched the sample found in Madison Mogen's bedroom on the knife sheath. So now you have a direct connection to the knife, the sheath in the house. You have a direct connection to Kohberger being in the house, and because of that connection, it's not reasonable to believe that the Elantra driving around wasn't his. It's not reasonable to believe that. It's now incredibly likely that the white Elantra driving around is Brian Kohberger's, because when he drove around on the 4th pass, that white Elantra pulled around and it stopped right back here at 4:08 and then drove away at 4:20 and 47 seconds. Inside of that small window of time, that 12 minutes, a knife sheath was left on Madison Mogen's bed by Brian Kohberger. So it's right when the Elantra stops and then drives away, in that 12-minute window, that knife sheath was deposited there. Then, lo and behold, it turns out that Brian Kohberger had purchased a KBAR knife and sheath back in late March of 2022, just months before the homicide. Then it turns out that inside the house, Dylan Mortensen sees an individual in the house that's the same exact size height-wise, same body type, but was wearing a balaclava and saw these really bushy eyebrows. Well, it turns out that his driver's license shows that he has really bushy eyebrows, and so does a selfie picture that he took on the same day of the homicides that he took after returning back home. I think the photograph was taken at 10:30, and that was after he drove back out to the crime scene, information shows. And lo and behold, a balaclava was purchased at Dick's Sporting Goods back in January of 2022. Isn't it interesting that the same year of the homicides that both the balaclava and the KBAR knife sheath were purchased? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And so the thing is, there's so much more. You can just keep going and going and going and going. But like if I was on a jury and just heard what I just said right there, he's toast. Okay? There you go. And thanks, PJ, up there, for the membership gifting to Candace. Very kind. Bedtime story. Well, I'm just telling you guys the truth. And then they say that he drove out there on all kinds of different nights. And on 23 times, according to Dateline, his phone was within 100 yards of that residence. And I know from being there myself that there is no way in hell that he could drive that smoothly around without being there multiple times. Because when I went out there the first time, I drove over here and I had to pull over because I had this, believe it or not, I actually had this exact, see this red line here? I had that mapped out before I even went there, and it wasn't in the probable cause. It was just based on, I mean, it was really weird. The map wasn't in the probable cause, but just the wording and stuff, I figured it out that it was like that. So I drove around, and first time I drove down this street and got, crap, and then I come up here, and I'm like, it was really confusing. But after I was there for a few hours, and the next day I could just come up here, boom, zip around, and no problem whatsoever. Really easy. Yeah, well, I don't mention that because we don't know if he used that in the crime, Mark. So I'm just saying the things that people mention. I'm not going to mention all these other random things. I'm talking about the ones that we know he was wearing a balaclava, and we know that he purchased a KBAR knife, and that's exactly the type of sheath that was left at the crime scene. And then also don't forget that he tried to purchase another KBAR knife, I think just like a day on the 15th, just a couple days after the homicides, and then he tried to purchase just a KBAR knife a sheath for a utility knife, and then for a KBAR knife. And then you say to yourself, well, who buys a knife sheath? Like you could ask an expert. And who are people that generally buy knife sheaths? And the person would say, well, somebody who either lost their knife sheath or wanted to replace one that is broken or, I guess you could say missing again. I mean, why would he be looking to purchase a KBAR knife sheath? Now, you could say that he still had the KBAR knife and he wanted to purchase another knife sheath because he was going to kill somebody else and leave another sheath somewhere else. Because at that time, he didn't think he was in trouble at all. He was like, oh, I nailed this. But I think when I think he got paranoid? When he got pulled over twice in Indiana. I think at that moment, even if it was random, which is hard to believe, he probably freaked out at that point, don't you think? That he just went, oh my God, they're on to me. They're on to me. They must have my DNA. I must not. And then he was paranoid about the sheath. And I bet you the knife sheath keeps him up at night a lot. Like he just sits there and goes, oh man, I can't believe I did that. Ah, jeez. Judge. Oh yeah, you know what? Here's something crazy. That DoorDash driver, her judge was wasn't a judge at the time, but Judge was involved in the case regarding her husband that was shot in 2013. I mean, I know it's a small area, so it's not really that crazy or anything. Oh, you met Judge Ito? Yeah, let me see if I can find that again. Hold on a second. What day was that we did that? Was that the 14th? Yeah, maybe it's in here. A Moscow man charged with first degree. Is it this one? No. It's in this folder, though. I just got to find the... There it is. All right, so this is an article right here. See, this is the Spokane Review. I'm going to read it. So listen to this. This is regarding the DoorDash, that lady. This lady right there. Right? A magistrate judge has ruled there is enough evidence to merit a trial for Moscow man charged with murder in connection with the shooting death of an acquaintance. And she even says in here that they were friends. Nathaniel H. Nisbet, 28, is charged with second-degree murder after prosecutors said he shot and killed 42-year-old Charles Pat McMichael. And in this interview, she says that that's what her husband's name was, that his name was Charles McMichael. And that was during a confrontation at a Moscow home on November 10th. This is 2013. Magistrate, listen to this. It's pretty crazy. It's like, the next sentence is, Magistrate John C. Judge made the ruling Thursday at a preliminary hearing, sending the case. I wonder if that's why he had to step down. I mean, maybe he didn't step down, but he was like, it's sort of a weird, I don't know. That doesn't seem like that'd be a reason, but how weird is that, huh? So one of the, like a huge witness in the case that he was the presiding judge over. Police said the shooting took place at the Bel Air mobile home park. McMichael's wife, Mrs. McMichael, testified Thursday that she and her husband were to help Erica Rosmondo, Nisbet's wife, change the locks and fix door jams on her mobile home. Rosmonda said she and her husband, the shooter, were separated and that Nisbet wasn't supposed to be at the home. So McMichael went over there to change the locks and make sure that he couldn't get into her house. However, when Pat McMichael went to the trailer, he found the door locked, the woman said. So he goes over and he was going to change the locks, but the door was locked. So when Rosmonda tried to unlock the door, she said she found it was blocked. So somebody or something was blocking the door so that McMichael couldn't get in. I'm saying this myself. Couldn't get in to fix the locks. She said Pat McMichael pushed his way through and that she thought she saw Nisbet near the kitchen. Pat barreled through me into the door through the house, Rosmonda said. The woman said they heard, the women said, so his wife and Rosmondo were outside. They said that they heard 3 or 4 noises described as breaking glass, followed by a pause and then 3 or 4 more noises. Rosmonda said she pushed her way into the trailer. So Rosmonda is the wife of the shooter, and heard 3 pops. She then slid to the floor by a filing cabinet with her arm up in a defensive position. At that point, I saw Pat on the floor, Rosmondo said. So that's the guy that got shot, Pat McMichael, Charles Patrick McMichael. She said she saw Nisbet standing in the hallway holding a 9mm Beretta pistol. Latah County Prosecutor William Thompson Jr. told the court the evidence showed Nisbet shot Pat McMichael multiple times with a discernible amount of time between rounds. Thompson said an autopsy showed the first shot was fatal and that McMichael had 3 shots to his chest. McMichael wasn't armed, Thompson said. Nisbet is being held in Latah County Jail. So that's, I mean, this lady here, man, she's had a rough, as Zozo would say, a rough go. Right? I mean, my God, she has her husband shot to death, and then she witnesses just prior to a nut job killing 4 people. Brian Kohberger. How come you keep saying Kohberger Gray? Well, because Kohberger's the killer, you know. I mean, isn't there a point, like, for example, you know that case that we just covered the other day with, the guy that shot up the 2 state senators? I mean, does anybody think that he isn't the killer at this point? And when people say that, they go, no, that guy killed him. Nobody goes, but he's innocent until proven guilty. You know, nobody says that, right? Because they agree. But as soon as they don't agree and they want to have a quadruple killer running around, maybe go out on a date, who knows, maybe go on a golf trip with Kohberger. They want him out, so they say it's innocent until proven guilty. It's crazy. Doesn't that bother you? Like every other case out there, those same hypocritical wackos would absolutely say that somebody did it. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. But they don't need to. They're just trolls that watch the show, hoping for a moment that I'll say something that they can write about and make something up about. Yeah, that's what they're waiting. They don't give a damn about anything, these people. But I hope you guys, all the people that have been here over the years that have helped support the channel, everything. I hope you're also just as proud. I think it's amazing. Probably at the end of this month, if we somehow pick it up a little bit, I'll be able to at least give away the $2,000 to get us up to $250,000 since January of 2020 that our channel has pumped out into scholarship funds, a DNA fund, Texas Equisearch, RAIN, and NICMAC, and tons of other places. So thank you guys. And I do that out of the income. So when I make videos and you guys watch them and they get shared, the channel brings in more ad revenue and then I can give away more. This month is just started off pretty good and they just went boom. So hopefully we start picking it up here. Nobody said yes. Come on, you guys. Aren't you proud of that shit? Yeah. All right. Yeah, there you go. You guys are like on a 50-second delay, I think. Hey, it looks like somebody commented from just some random person on Twitch. I guess I have to use StreamYard's native YouTube connection to be able to see the comments in StreamYards and put them on the screen. That kind of sucks. Hey, look at there's dreaming of blue skies and sandy beaches. I need to get some more drone footage wearing the goggles and put more Enya type music to it so we have multiple flyby stuff. Well, cool, Lisa. And I know a lot of you guys help all the time, and I really probably couldn't do it without you guys continuing to help. You know, and I know it's more expensive than probably anything else, you know, like, having a subscription to Netflix or something. But it's the only way to, I don't know how to do it, you know, like if my videos got 100,000 views a piece, I wouldn't need anybody to help anything, but they don't, so it just is what it is, I guess. Man, I think this might be one of the first nights with not one coffee. All right, we got a Did we get a Venmo? No, that wasn't a Venmo. Man, just one person. Maybe it doesn't have to be Lisa Valenzuela. Just somebody out there, right there. That whiny voice is hilarious. Yeah, I use that one all the time. I mean, we did a poll earlier, Jeannie. You must have missed it. We said, do you hate the whiny voice? And it got 35% said yes, they hate it. If it said 65% hated it, I would still do it all the time. See, Gray, that's why I don't like you. Consider purchasing a coffee for me up there. Hey, thanks, True Crime Sushi. All right, what else? You know, I think it's a weird phenomenon is condensation. You know when you have like a glass or something on your well, there's Lisa Valenzuela there. I see her over on this on my screen over there. Well, thank you, Lisa Valenzuela. I was thinking somebody else though. But you know, condensation's weird, right? Like you put a glass on a desk, you know, it's got ice in it, completely dry. Then you pick it up later and there's water all over the desk. For what reason? You know, it's just it's one of those things. It's like magnetism, right? Don't you think magnets are the weirdest damn thing you've ever seen? The one when you put the opposing forces against each other and they're like pushing, and there's nothing there, and there's this force that's pushing. They got to do more with that stuff. They need to make a chat GPT mode of Gray's whiny voice. Yeah. You guys want to, I don't know if you guys were here earlier, I'll show the my chat GPT. I was trying to make Kohberger pictures, and I use it for my thumbnail. Look at that one. That sort of looks like him. They just do like something similar, but look at that. This guy, he hasn't shaved in 2 weeks. He's just sitting there. Looks really worried, right? And then this one, that one looks creepy as hell because his eyes don't look like that. Right? And then that's the one I used on the, whoa! And then there was this one I was going to use too. That one was sweet because that looks like him. I know where I can use that one. On the last day. Except he wouldn't do that. He'd just have his weird bug eyes staring out into the night. Oh yeah, I had that one too. Look at that. Look at those chiclets. I said, hey, make him smiling. Make Kohberger smaller. Okay, so that's the other one. look at that. Isn't that weird? Create an image of Kohberger in court with big smile on his face, and that's what they came up with. That's what, just like that. ChatGPT was like, boom, just made that like that. Let's see, make a picture of Kohberger burying. Let's see. I don't know if it's 2 R's. I like just one. Burying a knife in the woods. Oh god, my stomach just went. Oh, do you guys hear that? That was so loud. I can't create.
I can't create images depicting or implying real individuals, like Brian Kohberger committing acts of violence.
Oh, he didn't. Okay. Well, you did earlier. Let's see. Oh, wait, what did it say? However...
I can't create an image that depicts Brian Kohberger committing a criminal act, such as burying something in a way that implies evidence disposal. However, I can generate an image of a man resembling Brian Kohberger, or a generic male figure standing by the side of a lonely, dark road, appearing to bury an unspecified item for use in a hypothetical, cinematic...
Are you kidding me? We can use a look-alike. That's hilarious. Yeah, well, I mean, then it's the same one, right? I mean... Takes a minute to do it. I have this book written, that's all this guy talks about is electromagnetic force. Oh, look at this creepy one. Holy crap. Look at that. Jeez. And that one's, right out, I mean, I meant a little off the road, not right on the edge like that. That's pretty funny though, isn't it? Look how good that does for that. Yeah, the Coral Castle guy. What the hell was his name? Edward Leeds Skalnin. He wrote a book. So you should look that one up. If you're really interested in that, Natalie, look up Edward, and his last name is right here. So he, by himself, he built an entire coral castle that weighed tons, and you could just nick it down. Nobody knows how he did it, but he wrote this book on, let's see, let me type his name in. And he wrote a book called Magnetic Current. And I don't really know what he's saying in it because it's kind of weird, but I bought the book. Yeah. Yeah. Put a car coming down the road towards Kohberger with Bigfoot on the road, silhouetted by the headlights. There we go. That'd be cool looking. Hey, welcome, Patricia Grizo. Which one are you talking about? M10. You read that book by Lee Scallon? Come on. No way. As well as ones when you're reading it, he seems to know what he's talking about, but it's hard to, you'd have to get all the gear and start. All right, so they changed it up a bit. Kohberger is, oh man, there's Bigfoot. It's got the Patterson image of him with his arm. Oh, that's hilarious. This is sweet. Look at this. Oh man, that's a good one. There we go, man. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna put it in here. Kohberger is digging on the side of the road while Bigfoot is going down the highway and a car is filming Bigfoot. I mean, with got its headlights on him, I mean. Have Kohberger look-alike attack the Bigfoot with shovel. Let's see, is it going to do that one? Or is that an act of violence? Okay, yeah. Sure.
I can't create images of a Brian Kohberger lookalike committing an act of violence, even against fictional creatures like Bigfoot. However, I can generate a dramatic standoff scene where the Kohberger lookalike...
Okay, we're doing it right now. Can you look into the Dolly Madison murders? I don't know. Nobody watches... When I do other cases these days, because there's so many other people making videos, they don't watch it. So it's just a devastating blow whenever I cover something outside of, I used to do cold cases all the time, and there wasn't a lot of YouTubers, and people loved the show, and we'd sit around, but now everybody's doing different shows, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and there's just, you got to be covering the ones that everybody wants to. I mean, I could look at it, of course. Why don't you send me an email about it? Go Beach's escort. Go Beach's escort. Jesus. There he is. Look at Kohberger attacking Bigfoot. The ominous Bigfoot, but a car coming. Yeah, people always say I like this, I like that, but then the support absolutely disappears into oblivion, sadly. No, I have that right here. How come I have that in here? Dolly Madison Bakery. Is this the Mary Drake one right here? Is that what you're talking about? No, I know. I like covering other cases. And, lately that's what I've been doing. But if you notice that it's crazy. People just don't show up. I've covered thousands of different cases over the years. Yeah, so I've done this one. It was a long time ago, though. Or not that long ago. It's just right up there. I guess I have to... Let me look it up in here. Dolly Madison Bakery. So I've done it. See? And I like covering cold cases and other cases, Cheryl. So it's frustrating, isn't it? Because when I do those nights where I cover some random, even just lately when I do these other ones that are, big cases, it seems like in the media, nobody's here. It's really strange. Yeah. Here, hold on. I'm looking up this one. Dolly. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see. I mean, when we do the trial, it's going to be hard to cover anything else.
I can't create images depicting a Brian Kohberger look-alike being attacked, even humorously. However, I can create a darkly comedic scene with a Kohberger-style character standing startled or overwhelmed, a pack of tiny but fierce-looking chihuahuas yapping or charging around him, set in the woods or road scene we've been using. Let me know if you want it more intense, goofy, or cinematic, and I'll generate it.
I'm just looking it up in my folder. Oh, weird. Where is this? Open. Open file location. Okay, so I have this whole. I don't know. I mean, I think I covered it. Let me just look at this. Hold on. Police seek man seen at site of killing. Police have released a description of a man wanted for questioning in connection with the slaying of 2 women found Wednesday evening inside a discount bakery store. Police identified the victims Thursday as a store clerk and an elderly customer, but would not say how they died. And I did this back in 2023, November 18th. So you might be able to look that one up. Mandy Alexander, 24, of Great Bend, had worked at the Dolly Madison Cake Discount Bakery outlet store for less than 2 weeks. Let me see if I have documentary bringing new attention to 2002 Dolly Madison. So that was about 2 years ago when they did that one. I don't remember all the details. So yeah, I've done it. I mean, there's almost no cold cases that you can bring up that I haven't done. It's crazy. I know, it can't do it, but then it does it. Now, where is it, though? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, jeez. Yeah. That's like my dogs. I got 4 of them. Looks like Clancy there. Oh, you're going to go to the Karen Reed thing? Have you been following that? I saw him walking around today. Man, why is that case so big to everybody? It's just... Man. I don't know. It just seems like such a sort of a... It's just weird that so many people are so... like... obsessively, you know, there's just completely 2 sides. And everybody just so wants to be there and just, I don't know. People say corruption, you know. I don't know. To me, it's just... I mean, it's sort of interesting. They had the FBI involved at one point, looking into the cops. And then some got fired and everything. I mean, today's ruling, I remember the jury question was, Hey, if we found her not guilty on 2 of the charges, but we can't decide on the other, is it a hung jury on the whole case? And the judge said she didn't answer it. And the reason she didn't answer it, in my opinion, is because if she did answer it, they would have came back not guilty on all 3 charges. Because they would realize, oh wow, this is going to be a hung jury again, and we don't even think she did it. You know, we were there. I think what it was is they found her not guilty, obviously, on all of the higher charges. And then on the 3rd one, there might be something like, you know, the drinking or some one of the other charges there. Because you would find, if you found somebody guilty on the highest charge, they'd be found guilty on every single thing below it. So if they were found not guilty on 2, now they're at this 3rd, now you're just looking at the lesser included stuff. And if you told them, yes, if it'll be a hung jury if you come back with undecided on even one of them, then the jury would say, well, shit, then I'm finding her not guilty on that. That's what they would say. But if you don't do that, they're going to come back and it's going to be the same story all over again. See? Right. Yeah, it's garbage. I think it's stupid. I think that if they find her not guilty on 2 of them, then if you want to retry her, she can only be tried. I think that's how the law should be, that she can only be tried on the one existing remaining count. That's how it should be in real life, because it feels like it's like just triple jeopardy on the other 2 counts. Okay, you got not guilty on 2nd-degree murder, you got not guilty on this one, you got not guilty on that one. But now you're going to, get her on this little small one, so that should be the only thing available in another trial. Well, do you guys agree with that? Because I would. I do. I mean, could you imagine you're found not guilty 6 or 7 times, and then all of a sudden, one time, finally somebody goes, oh, you're guilty. That seems like way too many bites at the apple on the big charges. What do you mean the verdict slip was a joke? What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean the verdict slip is damn confusing? Oh, you mean the thing that they have to fill out? You mean that thing? Yeah, socks, you can't be tried again. I thought it was also weird in Arizona where they get 2 bites at the apple on the death penalty. It's crazy. So when Jodi Arias she was found guilty and they went to the penalty phase, the jury was a hung jury on the death penalty. They didn't want to give her the death penalty. So then they have a whole nother trial just to get to the sentencing, the sentencing portion, like the full trial, another 6 weeks of everything, just so a new set of jurors can look at it. And then if they come back with a hung jury, then the judge only has one option, and that's life without parole and cannot assign death. That's in Arizona. That's really crazy. I mean, it's like, so you got 2 shots at death, and both times, by the way, I think there was only one holdout that everyone wanted to give Jodi Arias the death penalty, other than just a couple people out of like 24 or whatever. Yeah. I made your Google go off up there, Cheryl. That's funny. All right. Anyways, make sure you guys are here tomorrow. We're going to do the live stream at... I'm going to try to be out here at 10, or it might be earlier, and we'll just kind of, get ready, get into the flow, and then boom, we'll watch it. I try not to talk that much during the live streams either. I just play it. I have my own little, I zoom in on different people. I have like 4 or 5 different windows that pop open. And I move them around, so I'll have to adjust those really quickly at the beginning once we see the screen. Yeah, I think it starts at like 11:30, but I'll probably be here at 10. Anyways, I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I thought that was pretty fun. I appreciate you guys being here and the support for the channel. At least we had another positive day. Appreciate that. Hope they do the open portion first. Oh, well, I think that would be prior to that, wouldn't it? Like, they probably started at 9 in the morning for that. I would think. Yeah, maybe do that troll. The troll. Somebody typed in. I thought somebody typed in troll. Oh, I can't see. Anyways, all right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks to Lisa Valenzuela for the coffee. At least we kept that string going. And then we had... I'm just going to use my regular OBS for tomorrow. But I think during the... Hey, thanks, Alan McMahon. Very cool. Were you here for the show tonight? Alan McMahon, he was like groundbreaking, like, I don't know what you call him, a sleuth of just watching the Kohbergers, like, for a year and a half or something. That's all. He would just be like, every day. We went to, I think we were in high school together. But he would say stuff like, every day be like, hey, Grady, you see this thing? This is crazy. Look at these guys. And it's always the same characters over and over and over. They're crazy theories. Like, he's always battling the Kohbergers in their realm. Oh, you showed up late? Oh. Well, thanks. You should go back and listen to it. That was a pretty good show. A lot of poll questions. Well, cool. Nikki Zubs, thanks. Look at that. 29 months. So, hey, thanks to Cheryl Moran. Started off the show with the cat eye. Then we had Sandy Shirley, Ozzy Trisha, Allie Cake. Then Ozzy Trisha gifted 5. Mallory Beavers, K Me, Ozzy Trisha. Then we had Stephanie Sprague, Allie Cake, Kidman, Walker, Papa Squatch, Michelle H, Cheryl Moran, Allie Cake. Cheryl Moran started a wave there. Then we had Allie Cake, Natalie, Wendy Woobles, Timothy Cecil, Mrs. W, Tamran 127, and Papa Squatch. Then Derek Sherman, then Mark Willis with a 8-pound bass there. Richard Watts, Papa Squatch, Cheryl Moran, trying to get people to watch the show tomorrow. Then Natalie, Ozzy Trisha, then Ozzy Trisha gifted another 5, then Mark Willis, Brenda Redmond, Mark Willis gifted 5 himself, then Natalie, then M10 gifted 5, then Papa Squatch, M10, Sandy Shirley, Harry me boy. Then Mark Willis gifted 5 again. Then Ann Taylor Fan Club. Then I gifted 5. Then Tamran 127. K Me, Shay 530T. Zep became a new member. Then we have Tom Pascal with a cat eye. Then Cheryl Moran, Tamran, PJ gifted a membership. Then Dream of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches. True Crime Sushi. Patricia Grizo. RMB gifted 1. Alan McMahon gifted 5. And then Nikki Zubs been there 29 months. It sucked too. The Beavers today, they made it. They're in the College World Series, and then they lost in the bottom of the ninth. It's just 7-6. That sucked. And they just didn't play anywhere near as good as they've been playing, I guess, apparently. So anyways, I want to thank everybody for the fun show, and kind of everything was smoother tonight than normal. So I appreciate that. But man, would you guys go out and watch the video that I made earlier today? I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's just hardly anybody even saw the damn thing. And it was on again, the DoorDash delivery person, and trying to really narrow it down. We kind of went over some of the stuff tonight. The Oregon State Beavers baseball team. They were in the College World Series. They're a really amazing baseball program. They've won the national title a few times over the last 15, 20 years. Well, thanks, Little D. Oh, cool, BMS. Cheryl Moran watched it. Okay. Well, a lot of you guys watched it, but man, it never made it outside of the, you know, I mean, it was weird because it had a lot of, like, average watch time was pretty good, like 50%. That's pretty high. Normally, people don't take the time to watch full videos. They just click around and these people are typing in over here from Twitch. Who the F is Kohberger? He's a killer. He's a killer, okay? Yeah. He killed 4 college girls or not girls, 3 college girls and, or 4 people, 3 girls, women, and 1 man. You know, they're college students. On November 13th, 2022. Yeah. I'm talking to the Twitch person. The one person who stumbled upon my channel on Twitch. Yeah, cool. I'm glad you guys watch it. Anyways, thanks everybody for being here. Yeah, the Beavers are great. That's why the Ducks are lame when they go, oh, hey, we better create a team too. You know, we gotta create a team also, you know, and because the Beavers are so good, and the Beavers still just keep doing their thing. I'm just trying to see if I can, like, I'm on Twitter or X or whatever right now, and I'm on Twitch, and I think I tried even using Kick. I don't know if it's working or anything. It said it was. So, anyways, I'm just trying whatever I can, man. So, we'll see you guys tomorrow, right? So, get over here. It'll be great, and thank you all very much for all your support. And, you know, made up for, I would say, a little bit of yesterday, a little bit, right? So, there you go. So thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time. Wait, what's going on over here? Hold on. Hold on a second. I just saw like some shit going on over here. Hold on. Oh, that was earlier. I just want to look at this for a second. What was that bright thing? What is that? Okay, right there. That's always crazy. Look at this stuff up there. That's probably one of the interceptor Iron Dome. See right there? Oh, look at that's one going up to knock one out of the sky. Look at that. I think this was a while ago, though. That was during the show, though. So this is like an hour ago. It's so creepy. Yep, that's it. So there you go. No, that was Tel Aviv, Israel. You can't find me on Kick? I don't know. Just type in Gray, GRAYHUZE 2 or something like that. Maybe you'll find it. Hey, Zozo, how's it going? All right, you guys, see you tomorrow. Have a good night. And, as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, Joe. Just remember, I've a temper fucking checker. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to
Baz B! Hey, Baz B! What's going on, man?
I'm gonna send ya on
A mission to the reveal the true offender.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.
All right, freaks. We will see you tomorrow. Be safe.